Hi students, இன்றைக்கு நம்ம பார்க்கக்கூடிய டாபிக் வந்து very interesting topic. அதாவது 11th standard physicsல significant figures. The topic is very interesting. Plus it's very important for some problems also. Okay, so nowadays we are using the significant figures concept are using in our daily life. Okay, now listen here. நிறைய வீடியோஸ் போட்டிருக்கோம், அந்த வீடியோஸ்லாம் பாருங்க. இன்னும் நிறைய வீடியோஸ் போட போகிறோம். ஸோ நீங்கள் லைக் பண்ணால் நீங்கள் ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கள், ப்ளஸ் சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள். அப்போ தான் நாங்கள் அனுப்புகிற வீடியோஸில் உங்களுக்கு வந்து சேரும். ஓகே, வீடியோக்குள்ளே போகலாமா? தேங்க்யூ. ஓகே, now listen here. So significant figures, what is the meaning of significant figure? Now I am going to explain a small example. For example, now I have small one clock is there. Now listen here, see the clock. Now the clock shows that is the time is 8:35. Okay, so according to the first clock shows 8:35. Okay, but second clock, see the second clock shows 8:34 only. See the second clock, that clock shows only 8:34 only, 8:34. But next another one more clock is there, that clock shows 8:36. Okay, 8:36. So okay, now listen here, we have small confusion is there, because we have three clocks are there, all the three clocks shows different time, so we don't know which one is the correct time. That's very important. So for that reason we are going to use a significant figures, because these are the first two numbers, that's 8.3 only, next one also 8.3 only, next one also 8.3, the last one is different. For that reason we are going to use the concept the significant figures. Here are some rules for counting the significant figures. Today now we are going to study the rules with the examples for counting the significant figures. Okay, shall we start now? So the first rule is, so for example there is non-zero numbers. The first one is known as, there is non-zero numbers. Non-zero means without zero. That's the meaning. Non-zero means without zero. The numbers, there are some numbers are there, but there is no zero is there. For example, now I am going to give some numbers are there. That's the first numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. So okay, so count the numbers. There 1, 2, 3, 4. So the significant figure is 4 only, because there is no zero is present there. Okay, for example, next one more example. Next one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here what is the significant figure means? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our significant figures means 5. So for the all the non-zero numbers are meaningful digits. So significant figure means a number of meaningful digits. That is the meaning. Okay, here the first case there is no non-zero. There is all the numbers are non-zero numbers. For that reason the first one is 4, next one also 5. Now we are going to write some numbers with some zero. That is this is second case. The zero is present between some numbers. Okay, between numbers. Zero is present between numbers. For example, now I am going to write some examples. The first number is 2021. Please listen here. Here the zero is present in between the two non-zero numbers. Here 2 is one non-zero number, another one is 2 is a non-zero number. The 0 is present in between the two zeros. So for that reason you have to count that zero also. So listen here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the significant figure is 4. Okay students. Okay, now I will write one more example also. For example, next one. So 30, 405. So listen here. Here one zero is present here. Next another zero is present here. Last one is a non-digit number. So for that reason, so count all the numbers only. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So for that example, so our significant figure is 5. Okay. The next one is so now we study the non-zero numbers, and zero is present in between the two non-digit numbers. Now we can write the next one, that is third case also. From the third rule, some zeros which are present at the end, what happens? Okay, that is without decimal number. So please listen here, without decimal number. Please listen here, without decimal number. What happens here? Please listen here. For example, one number is there, 40. Listen here, 40700. Here listen here, please listen here, 40700. Here the zero is present at the last end only. For that reason you have to count the first three numbers only. Should not count the last number. If there is no decimal point is there, then you should count that ordinary numbers only, 1, 2, 3, so the significant figure is equal to 3 only. Okay, so for that reason, we are using this one. Come to the next case, so now we are going to come to the next rule. In the next rule, we are going to follow some decimal point is there, some decimal point. For example, that is the next one is a decimal point. That is a decimal point, okay, decimal point. Okay, for the decimal point, here, for example, this is a 40700 point. Here one point symbol is there, one decimal place is there. So for that reason, you have to count that zeros also. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. For this one, so you have to write a significant figures. Please listen here. You have to differentiate this rule and this rule also. Here there is no decimal point. There is no decimal point. For that reason, we should not count the last 2 zeros. Here some decimal point is there, so compulsory you have to count that 0 also. Okay, so we completed around 4 rules completed. Now we are going to study some examples with some decimal point. Some decimal point with the numbers greater than 1. Next one is less than 1. We have different options are there. Now we completed around 4 rules we completed. Now come to the first one. That is fifth one. The fifth one is listen here. That is a decimal number. The number is less than 1. Listen here, please listen. If the number is less than 1, the number is less than 1. That is the next condition. If the number is less than 1, which for example, one example is there, 0.0125. Please listen here. 0.0125. Here, listen here. Here 0 point something. That number is less than. It is smaller than 1. So smaller than 1 means should not count this one, should not count this one, should not count this number also, but you have to count this one and this one also. So 1, 2, 5. So we have what is the total number of significant figures? That significant figure is equal to 5. So listen here, if the number is greater than 0 means you have to count, the number is less than 0 means should not count the 0. Okay, come to the next one, that's another one, that is sixth one. Sixth example, if the number, the decimal point, but the number is greater than 1. For example, so that is greater than 1. The number is greater than 1. For example, now I am going to give small example is there. So around that is 60 point. Please listen here. 60 point. 60.00. Here that number is greater than 1. So you have to count all the numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4. So our significant figure is 4. Okay, that significant figure is 4. Okay, so around we complete around 6 rules we completed. Now come to the next one. For example, seventh rule. Come to the seventh rule is there. The seventh rule is if the number is less than 1. So for example, the number is less than 1. That is a condition with some decimal point. For example, this number is 0.02050 and 500. Please listen here. What is the given number? 0.205000. For that reason, you have to count these numbers. You have to count these numbers also. Okay, don't count these numbers. You have to count these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So the significant figure is 5. Okay, students. So what is the significant figure for this one? The number is 5. So next another one. That's next one is there. So that's the eighth one. For example, one number is there. So by using the scale, we can measure the thickness of the object, the length of the object. For example, the length of the object is around 1.23 centimeter. For example, the value is 1.23 centimeter. So we can convert into meter. That value becomes 0. Please listen here. Now we are going to convert into that another value 0.0123 meters. Okay, meters. Okay, next one. Now we are going to convert to the kilometer. So that value becomes 0. Right, 4 zeros. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then next 1, 2, 3. That is kilometers. Kilometers means. So here first one is centimeter. Next one is a meter. Next one is a kilometer. For any unit, for any type of unit, you have to count these numbers only. You have to count numbers only. So first one is that is 3. This one also 3. So here the number is less than 1. For that reason, you have to count this number only. So that significant figure is 5, 3. So next one also 3 only. Okay. So up to this one, easier. Now we are going to study next one, last one. That is the last one for me. Some powers level. For example, what is the value of the velocity of light? The value of velocity of light equal to 3 into 10 power 8. So we already studied in our lower classes. The power equal to 3 into 10 power 8. 3 into 10 power 8. So don't consider this power. Maybe positive value, negative value. Should not consider this one. So what is the correct value? What is the correct value? That is equal to 3 into. So write 8 zeros 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Listen here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So even though we have the 8 zeros are there, you have to consider this number only because this is our significant figure. So that value equal to 1. Okay. So next, last one example. For example, this one equal to 2 into 10 power 11. 2 into 10 power 11. For that, you have to write only 2 is a significant figure. So 2 is a significant figure. So our value is equal to 1. So okay. Put it as students. So very simple concept. So I explained with small examples also. So இந்த வீடியோ வந்து உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்தா நீங்க லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. Thank you students. Thank you.